Hello, everyone. A few weeks ago, I put out a video where Shane approached the juvenile Bigfoot at the 400 location. Uh, Now, when I put out that video, that was the video from my point of view. I told you what happened that night from the vantage point of filming Shane walking up to the little one, and paraphrased everything that he told me uh, from my point of view of the way everything transpired. But in this video, I actually found a live video that he did the day after this happened. So you're going to want to hear from his own words less than 24 hours after this happened, maybe even only like 12 hours after this happened. This is his version of what happened. And one of the questions that has been posed to me by a lot of the people who've watched the video, they look at the picture that I put from the thermal camera where it shows Shane walking up, and you see just a small little thermal capture of the head, of the forehead poking up from the grass. And a lot of people can't understand, why can we not see any more of the figure laying down there rather than just a small heat signature from its head or face area as it's looking through the grass towards us. So this is a picture of Shane laying in the spot where this juvenile Bigfoot was laying while looking at him, and you can see the grass, how it this is a floodplain, so a lot of times when the flood waters recede, there's big clumps of grass in this field. It's a scrub field. It's got trees, sporadically placed trees, and a lot of scrub brush, and just a buildup of grass and grassy areas. So you can see how thick that area of grass was that this thing was laying behind, and just easing its head up to be able to look through the grass blades at us, as stealthy as you would expect these things to be. But that's why you couldn't see his body with the thermal camera from my point of view. But this is Shane's interview that you're going to hear if you want to hear straight from his mouth of what he saw when he walked out there.
So anyway, we went down to the bottom end of the and went back to camp, and we took a walk down towards the creek end, and we stopped intermittently to scan with the thermal and all that good stuff. And the third time, which is the same as it happened last July, it was the third time we caught a thermal hit. So this I'll show later. I'll try to post some clips for you guys in the group of this, but it recently flooded. There's a floodplain down at the end of this creek where it dumps, and we've had so much rain the past month up until here the past couple weeks that it flooded up into it. And so there's grass that's like 3 feet high that is kind of pushed into clumps all over the place. So this thing that we were catching on the thermal was laying down behind one of these clumps, and it was popping its head up. And same thing as last year, same basic things that they always seem to typically do. It was happening. So we filmed it and watched it for, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 minutes, and I decided to walk towards it. And so that's what happened. I walked towards it, and I got within about 7 feet of it, with Randy telling me, which direction to go, where it was at. So I turned on my flashlight, and I pointed down at this clump of grass about 7 foot in front of me, and there's two large glowing eyes, and the eyes were almost a gold color. Think of like a like gold shiny eyes, reflecting, of course, and then the center of the eye was like a silver reflection. This thing actually moved its head sideways to so that it could see me. So I had my flashlight. I'm kind of leaned sideways. It leaned to its left. I leaned to my right, and the flashlight hits it. I'm literally watching its eyes blink. So this went on for 3 or 4 minutes, and I'm communicating back to the guys, and they're talking to me. And I decided at one point that I was going to move, instead of moving forward, I was going to move to the left so that I could kind of see around this big clump of grass and these two small trees. And as I did that, the one laying down smacked its teeth together, which I've never heard before. So it kind of caught me off guard. Something, you know, I didn't expect it because I've never heard that before. So it clacked its teeth together, and then just before that happened, I'd heard some movement off to my left. And so the teeth clack, and then a rock comes from my left and lands beside me. And at that point, I just figured, you know, good enough is good enough. And I backed out, and that was the end of it. We didn't wait around to see if it was going to move position or anything. We didn't want to push too far. You know, maybe we shouldn't have pushed that far, but I just felt like it was time to push the envelope a little bit, see what we could get by with, and see how they would react. And they didn't, there was no aggression really shown. I kind of feel like I was warned with that teeth clack and that rock. This morning, while we were gone last night, Randy set up a parabolic. He went through it this morning, and we had activity in camp while we were gone. We were gone for about 3.5 hours. We got back at camp last night about 3 o'clock. And the last, what do you think, Randy, the last 40 minutes or 30 minutes before we got back?
Yeah, something was probably in our camp.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, something.
We were coming down the hill.
Something, yeah, we were coming down the hill, down into the property, and something was in our campsite, messing with things. It actually sounds like it sniffed the microphone. You can hear something walking away from it.
And here is the video that describes what happened at the table after further investigation from the audio taken that night. But this video is about the visitor at the table, which happened just minutes before Shane approached that little one out there on the trail after this.